Why did communist command economies use production quotas? Imagine a country where the government decides exactly how much steel, grain, or cars should be made each year. That's what a command economy does. It's like having a giant plan that guides every factory and farm. But why did they rely so heavily on setting specific numbers called production quotas? Well, let's find out. In these economies, the government was in charge of everything. They didn't trust private owners or market forces to decide what to produce. Instead, they created detailed plans that laid out what was needed for society to grow and develop. To turn these plans into reality, they set targets called quotas. These quotas told factories exactly how many tons of steel or how many buses they needed to produce within a certain time frame. For example, a factory might be told to produce 10,000 tons of steel in 1 year. The main reason for using quotas was to make sure the government's plans actually happened. Without clear targets, it would be hard to tell if factories were doing enough. Quotas turned broad goals into specific tasks. They helped coordinate the entire economy so that resources like raw materials, labor, and machinery went where they were needed most. If the plan prioritized building new factories, quotas for construction materials would be high. This way, the government aimed to avoid waste and duplication by focusing efforts on key sectors. Another reason was to promote equality and collective welfare. The idea was that central control could distribute resources more fairly than a market driven by private profit. Quotas were meant to guarantee that everyone's basic needs were met, whether it was food, housing, or jobs. They aimed to create a balanced economy where no one was left behind. But in practice, setting quotas wasn't always perfect. Sometimes factories focused on hitting the numbers rather than making good quality products. They might produce more of something that wasn't really needed just to meet their target. This led to shortages of some goods and surpluses of others, because the central planners couldn't always predict what people actually wanted. Over time, a lot of bureaucracy grew to monitor and enforce these quotas, making the system more complicated. Despite these issues, quotas remained a key part of how communist economies tried to control and direct production. They reflected the belief that a society run by its government could plan better than relying on unpredictable markets. Even as some countries moved toward mixed economies, the idea of setting clear production targets stayed at the core of command economies.